Just observe how most men give up too quickly because they believe they've lost before you give up on her. The preliminary conflict has even begun, and you feel like it's over because she's withdrawing, acting aloof, and not responding as she used to. But what if I told you that this is actually your greatest chance? What, before you give up, watch this video, because if you put what I'm about to tell you into practice, you'll be in a position that most men never reach. If you could turn everything around instead of giving up and chasing after people or losing your dignity, most men never get this. They act too quickly, too desperate, and too emotional, and that's exactly what ruins everything. Let's start by discussing the reason she is initially withdrawing. When a woman becomes aloof, most men freak out because they think she's lost interest, found someone else, or just doesn't care anymore. But the truth is far more complex. What happens is that she stops feeling the chase. When she first met you, there was mystery, excitement, and challenge. Now that she knows exactly how you feel, and it's predictable, she tests your emotional control. Women don't just wake up one day and stop feeling something. It happens gradually in stages. Women are inherently curious about how you respond to emotional changes. She wants time to feel something again. Do you freak out, overreact, or stay calm? Distance, tension, and feelings, not words, are what create attraction. When everything is always available, it loses value, and here is where most men fail. Instead of retreating when she does, they push harder. When they text more, call more, and try more, the attraction fades since she no longer has to earn your attention. If she doesn't have to, she won't appreciate it. 2. The silent test. You didn't even notice this, but most men miss completely. A woman's withdrawal is frequently a subconscious test. Her instincts are watching, even though she doesn't always intend it. She wonders if he is emotionally capable of handling this, if he will pursue me or stand his ground, if he really has choices, or if he is just acting. And now for the risky bit. Most men fail right away, and she disregards them. They text again, she takes longer to respond. They ask if everything is okay. She cancels plans and they try to reschedule immediately. Every single one of these reactions proves to her that she's in full control. But the men who win this test, the ones who truly stand out, do something different. They don't react emotionally, they don't chase, they don't beg for answers, they simply hold their position. And that's when she starts to feel something unexpected. Regret, the power of control, distance. Here's what most men don't realize. Women don't fall in love with presence, they fall in love with absence. The less you give away freely, the more she values what she gets. Think about it. When something is always available, you stop noticing it. But when something disappears, you start craving it. That's why pulling back at the right time is the most powerful move you can make. Instead of texting her first, wait. Instead of liking her posts, ignore them. Instead of adjusting your schedule for her, prioritize yourself. Because when you stop being predictable, stop being too easy to reach, and stop reacting instantly, everything changes. She starts noticing your absence, and that's when she starts wondering, why isn't he reacting? Did he lose interest? Is he seeing someone else the moment you stop giving freely? She starts missing you for what to do. Instead of chasing, most men try to fix a situation like this. They think, maybe if I explain myself, if I show her how much I care, she'll come back. But attraction doesn't work like that. Instead of trying to win her back with words, do this: match her energy. If she's distant, don't overcompensate. Pull back and stay neutral. If she reaches out, respond. But don't overinvestment. How to handle it. Here's how to handle it. Instead of acting like her message is the best thing that has ever happened to you. If she vanished, she needs to show that she is serious about returning. Most men make the mistake of welcoming her back too easily. She disappears for a week, and then they suddenly text, "Hey," and what do? They jump at the chance. Regain control of the pace. Avoid falling into old habits, and give her space before focusing on her too much. If you do this, she will respect you more because she realizes she can't take you for granted. But here's the reality. Not all women will return, and that's okay, because if she walks away and never comes back, she just saved you from wasting more time on the wrong person. You don't want a woman who only stays when you chase her. Instead, you want a woman who chooses to stay because she values you and the power of silence. When she begins to withdraw, most men believe they must fight for her, attention, argue, or explain themselves. However, the truth is that silence speaks louder than words ever could, creating mystery, uncertainty, and a shift in emotional power. This is something that most men will never understand. She may not even notice at first because she thinks you'll return, check in, text, or try to make things right. But as the days and weeks go by, she suddenly realizes something is different, and that's when everything starts to change in her mind, because you're no longer the guy who always checks in or waits. Instead, you've vanished from her life, leaving a void that she wasn't anticipating and forcing her to reevaluate her feelings for you. 14. Why ladies don't respect you unless you stop talking. The majority of women believe that guys are always available and that you will be waiting for them no matter what they do or how far they pull away. Why wouldn't most men do that? Chase and most men are unable to tolerate a woman's distance, but when you don't act like most men and choose to be silent instead of chasing, it upsets her expectations. She begins to wonder why he isn't reacting, why he hasn't tried to talk to her, and is he really moving on? These thoughts cause her to ask herself a question she never thought to ask. Did I misjudge him? That question alone sets off a chain of emotions that most women aren't ready for. 15. When she begins to sense your absence, this is the part that most guys miss because they quit up too soon. At first, she seems okay and may even feel relieved, thinking you'll be back to her soon. But suddenly there's stillness. No calls, texts, or interactions on her social media. Days pass into weeks, and she begins checking her phone more frequently, but nothing happens. At that point, she realizes for the first time that she is the one who is unsure and wondering whether she made a mistake, because everything changes now that you aren't pursuing her. The unwritten rule of attraction. Most men are unaware that a woman values you because of how hard it is to replace you when you are always there and available. The best part is that she isn't even aware that she is doing it. It just happens naturally and subconsciously, because when something is always available, it loses value, but when it disappears, it becomes a mystery, and mystery breeds attraction. She never had to consider losing you, but now she is beginning to feel your absence, and that feeling is unsettling. She begins to wonder if she took you for granted, wondering if she misjudged your worth. 17. Why did she start observing you again? After the stillness is established, she does what most women do, which is to monitor, check your online activities, and read through previous communications. Because she's trying to find anything out, she might even start liking your posts again to watch how you respond. Did I really lose him? That query keeps her focused on you, because the idea that she may have lost a man who was previously loyal to her causes her to experience feelings she never anticipated, forcing her to reassess everything. At that point, she begins to feel the weight of your absence. 18. She may send you a random message or respond to one of your posts, or she may text you about something pointless. But it's not pointless. It's her way of asking if you're still there. If you reply too quickly or eagerly, you confirm that she still has you, and the game resets. These are the subtle signs that she's testing the waters. This is where most men fail. She loses interest again, because she knows she can still capture your attention whenever she wants. 19. This is the most crucial moment because how you react now determines everything. You have two options: fall back into old patterns and let her feel in control, or you can remain calm and let her work for your attention. The second option is what keeps her interested because you're not the same guy she once knew. Now you're a challenge, and women crave challenges. If she reaches out after your silence, most men think it's a victory because they think she came back and I can act normal again. What you need to realize is that you don't want to be the guy who is constantly available and chasing. Instead, you should concentrate on your own life and priorities. When you give her space and let her miss you, you gain her respect and become someone she must work for, which is what generates enduring attraction. Win a woman by becoming the type of man who never has to chase you. You accomplish this by having standards, appreciating your time, and forcing her to demonstrate that she is worthy of your energy. At that point, everything changes because you are now in control, not through games or manipulation, but through self-respect. And that is what distinguishes the men who are played from the men who are not. Women never forget that when your silence becomes intolerable to them, there comes a moment when they feel your silence rather than just notice it. She initially dismissed it, assuming you would eventually give in and try to reconnect by sending a message. But now she feels something unexpected. Your absence is affecting her emotionally rather than simply being a small nuisance. She looks at her phone in the hopes that your name will appear, and she finds herself going back over previous exchanges to see if she missed any clues that you were fading away. As time goes on, she begins to wonder if she pushed him too far, if I was mistaken about him, or if he is truly gone for good. The secret that most men don't realize is that she's not only missing you, she's also learning that she doesn't have the control she believed she did, which makes her insane when she starts to hunt for you in other men. When someone can't have what they want, they start looking for it elsewhere. When a woman realizes you're not reaching out, she tries to fill that void, even if she doesn't fully understand why. She may start posting things online or texting past lovers in an attempt to get attention from new guys, hoping you'll respond. But the truth is that none of it feels the same. This is one of the most fascinating aspects of human psychology. She begins comparing as soon as she attempts to replace you, and once she does, she loses interest in you regardless of who she speaks to. You become a mystery to her, a question mark in her head that she can't answer. The more she tries to push past it, the more she realizes she's only making it worse for herself. Why her ego won't let her admit she misses you. Women have two sides when it comes to missing someone. There's the emotional side where she feels the loss, the regret, the longing, and then there's the ego, which hates to lose. It won't let her admit she's wrong. It won't let her be the first to fully own up to her feelings. Instead of reaching out with honesty, she plays games. She might send a random text, like, "Hey, hope you're doing well," hoping you'll take the bait and restart the conversation. She might suddenly post about how happy she is, how she's moving on, or how amazing life is, just to see if you'll react. But inside, she's hoping you're still watching. She's hoping you'll give her a sign that she still has your attention, but the moment you don't react, that's when the real battle begins, because now she can't tell if you're truly over her or if you've simply mastered something most men never do: separation detachment, the game-changer detachment. That's what breaks her ego when she finally realizes you were the prize. That's when everything flips. She understands that you weren't just another guy. You weren't someone she could string along forever. You weren't someone who would wait forever. And the painful part, she realizes it too late, because by now you've changed, you've grown. You've become the man who no longer waits for her validation. And in that moment she finally understands what you understood all along. The real value wasn't in her approval, but in your ability to walk away, because now she's no longer in control. You are. And she's the one left wondering if she'll ever get another chance. What to do when she comes back? Here's where most men fail when she finally reaches out. Most guys fall right back into the trap. They respond too quickly, act too eager, and give her exactly what she wanted from the start: validation. And once she gets that validation, she disappears again. That's why you can't play this the way most men do. If she comes back, you must stay grounded. You must act like a man who isn't fazed by her return. Don't drop everything just because she texts you. Don't make her the center of your world just because she shows interest again. Don't fall back into the same patterns that made her take you for granted in the first place. Instead, let her work for it, because if she truly values you, she'll prove it, not with words, but with actions. And if she doesn't, then you've just won the game, because you finally realize that you never needed her in the first place. Don't chase level up if she let you down. Don't beg. Don't chase, just level up. Focus on yourself. Keep moving forward, and let your silence speak for you. If you found value in this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out the next one on the screen. It's exactly what you need to hear next.